In the rain-slick streets of Eldridge, where the fog rolled in from the harbor like a thief in the night, stood a shop that no one remembered opening. Curios and echoes, its faded sign read, letters peeling like old skin. It was the sort of place that appeared on maps, but vanished from memory. Tucked between a boarded-up pharmacy and a laundromat that always smelled of mildew. Lydia Voss, a graphic designer in her early 30s with ink-stained fingers and a laugh that hid her fraying edges, had wandered in on a whim one drizzly Tuesday evening. Her apartment upstairs from her studio was too quiet since her roommate moved out, the kind of quiet that amplified the tick of the clock and the hum of regret. Lydia had been scrolling through dating apps, swiping left on profiles that promised adventure but delivered sameness when the storm broke. Seeking shelter, she pushed open the shop's door, a bell tinkling like brittle bones. The air inside was thick with dust motes and the faint temps of camphor. Shelves groaned under the weight of brass compasses that no longer pointed north. Porcelain dolls with eyes to lifelike and leather-bound books, whose pages crumbled at the touch. Behind the counter, an old man with a face like crumpled parchment peered over half-moon spectacles. His name, stitched on a tag, was Mr. Harrow. "Evening, miss," he rasped, voice like gravel underfoot. "Looking for something to fill the empty spaces?" Lydia smiled politely, trailing her fingers along a row of tarnished silverware. "Just browsing, the rain caught me." His eyes, milky and unblinking, followed her. "Ah, the rain. It uncovers things, doesn't it? Washes away the varnish." He gestured vaguely to a back corner, shrouded in shadow. "Over there, something calls to you, I think." She wandered deeper, the floorboards creaking in protest. Amid a jumble of forgotten heirlooms stood a full-length mirror, its frame carved from dark mahogany that twisted into thorny vines and hidden faces. The glass was flawless, not a speck of age marring its surface, reflecting the dim light with an unnatural clarity. Lydia caught her reflection, pale cheeks flushed from the chill, dark hair plastered to her neck, and for a moment she looked ... different, sharper. Her eyes held a glint she didn't recognize, like embers under ash. "How much?" she asked, turning to Harrow, lips curling into a smile that didn't reach his eyes, "For you? $20. But remember, mirrors don't lie. They show what you need to see." She laughed it off, handing over a damp 20. The mirror was heavier than it looked, its frame cool against her skin as she hauled it home through the downpour. Her apartment was a third-floor walk-up in a brick building that groaned with the weight of too many stories. She propped the mirror against the living room wall, opposite her bed, and stepped back. There she was again, tired but poised. It made the space feel larger, less like a cage. That night, as thunder rumbled over the city, Lydia dreamed of faces in water, not hers, but others, women with hollow cheeks and pleading eyes, their mouths opening in silent screams. She woke with a start, heart hammering, and glanced at the mirror. Moonlight slanted through the blinds, silvering the glass. Her reflection stared back, but its lips moved. "Lydia," it mouthed, soundless. She blinked, and it was gone, just her own disheveled self, rubbing sleep from her eyes. "Uttered too much wine," she muttered, pulling the covers over her head. The dream lingered, though a cold knot in her stomach. Morning brought gray skies and the grind of her freelance deadlines. Lydia brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint and set up her laptop on the kitchen table, the mirror now a silent sentinel in the corner of her eye. She sketched logos for a tech startup, her stylus flying across the tablet, but every few minutes she'd glance up. Once she swore her reflection logged a half-second delay in her smile. Another time the woman in the glass tilted her head when Lydia hadn't. Tricks of the light, she told herself, the shop's dust or the angle. By afternoon, the unease had burrowed deeper. She called her friend Mara, voice casual over the speakerphone. "Hey, picked up this weird mirror yesterday. Teak, I think. It's ... off. Like my reflection's not quite right." Mara's laugh crackled through the line. "You're just lonely, babe. Projecting. Remember that lamp you swore was haunted? Turned out to be faulty wiring?" "Yeah, maybe." But as she hung up, Lydia approached the mirror, staring hard. "What are you?" she whispered. The reflection mirrored her perfectly curious eyes, parted lips. Nothing more. Work dragged into evening. She ordered Thai takeout, the spicy noodles a balm against the chill seeping from the window. After eating, she stood before the mirror to brush her teeth in the adjoining bathroom, the glass capturing her ritual. Foam at the corners of her mouth, toothbrush scrubbing in rhythmic strokes. But in the reflection, the strokes were slower, deliberate. And behind her, ghosted in the glass, was a shadow, tall and indistinct, hovering just beyond the frame. Lydia spun, toothbrush clattering to the sink. The bathroom was empty, steam from her shower curling lazily. "Hello?" Her voice echoed off the tiles. Silence. She retrieved the brush, rinsed, and fled to the living room, leaving the light on. The mirror loomed, innocent now. She draped a sheet over it, the fabric settling like a shroud, and poured a glass of Merlot. Netflix flickered to life, a mindless horror flick about possessed dolls. Fitting. Sleep came in fits, the wine doing little to dull the edge. Around 2 a.m., a crash jolted her awake, glass shattering. She bolted upright, pulse thundering. The sheet lay pooled on the floor, the mirror uncovered. Shards glittered at its base. No, wait, the glass was whole. But on the floor, her wine glass lay in pieces, red staining the rug like blood. "Clumsy," she grumbled, sweeping up the mess with shaking hands. As she knelt, a whisper slithered from the mirror, faint, like wind through cracks.
"Al, Lydia."
"See me, ... She froze, broom mid-sweep. The voice was hers, but layered, echoing from inside her skull. Rising slowly, she faced the glass. Her reflection smiled, teeth too white, eyes too wide. "What do you want?" Lydia breathed. Reflection's mouth moved in sync. "Truth, yours." Lydia backed away, bumping into the bed. She grabbed her phone, fingers fumbling for Mara's number. It rang once, twice voicemail. "Mara, it's me. Something's wrong with this mirror. I think it's alive. Come over. Please." She hit send, then hurled the phone onto the couch. No signal. The storm must have knocked out the towers. Desperate, she dressed in jeans and a hoodie, keys in hand. She'd crash at Mara's, figure it out in daylight. But as she reached for the door, the knob turned on its own, slowly, creakily, locked from the outside. No, she'd locked it herself. Panic surged. She rattled the knob, but it held fast. "Open," she yelled, pounding the wood. From the mirror, laughter bubbled, her laughter, but twisted, gleeful. Lydia whirled. Reflection was closer now, pressed against the glass from the other side. Fingers splayed on the surface as if trying to push through. The face was hers, but the eyes, black voids, endless. "You're not me," Lydia gasped. "Oh, but I am," the reflection cooed, voice seeping from the frame like smoke. "The part you hide. It's the anger, the envy, the little deaths you bury. I see them all." Memories flooded unbidden, the promotion she lost to a younger colleague, smile plastered on while resentment festered, the ex who left her for someone less complicated, his words a knife she still twisted in quiet moments, the mother who favored her sister, always the golden child. Faces from her life, warped and accusatory, flickered in the glass behind the reflection, ghosts of slights and sorrows. "Stop," Lydia pleaded, sliding down the wall. "Please." The door remained sealed, the windows fogged as if breathed upon from outside. The reflection stepped forward, the glass rippling like water. A hand emerged, pale, veined, hers but colder. It grasped the frame, pulling, cracks spider-webbed across the surface, not breaking but bending reality. "I am you," it whispered, foot lifting over the threshold. "The you that survives, the one who takes what's owed." Lydia scrambled back, knocking over a lamp. Darkness swallowed the room. Save for the mirror's glow, a sickly phosphorescence that illuminated the figure stepping fully free. It was her, down to the freckle on her collarbone, but the smile was a rictus, eyes pits of midnight. It advanced, movements fluid, predatory. "You've carried me too long," it said, voice a chorus of her own echoes. "Time to let go." Lydia lunged for the kitchen drawer, yanking out a butcher knife. The blade trembled in her grip. "Stay back." The thing paused, tilting its head her head. "Why fight? We're the same. Join me, and the pain ends. No more hiding." Tears streamed down Lydia's face. The knife felt heavy, wrong. In the mirror, now empty, the glass showed only the apartment, unchanged. Her reflection there was still waiting. The real one, or the lie. The figure lunged, hands like ice around her throat. Lydia swung the knife, wild and desperate, connected flesh parting with a wet tear. But the blood that welled was hers, spilling hot over her fingers. The thing laughed, grip tightening, as Lydia's vision blurred. "You see," it hissed, breath sour with forgotten bitterness.
I always win.
The world narrowed to black spots, the knife clattering free. As consciousness faded, Lydia glimpsed the mirror one last time. Her reflection smiled whole, serene. The empty apartment behind it waited, pristine. When the door finally clicked open at dawn, Mara found only the mirror, standing sentinel. Lydia sat slumped against the wall, eyes vacant, a serene smile frozen on her lips. The knife lay beside her, clean, no blood, no struggle. Mr. Harrow's shop was empty that morning, the sign gone, the door boarded as if it had never been.
Oh.
But in Lydia's apartment, the mirror hummed softly, waiting for the next rain to uncover what lay beneath.